Good holy class, I am teacher Reah together with teacher Jyster. Before we start our class, I am requesting everyone to please stand and may I ask Miss Ella to please lead us in prayer. Amen. Holy Trinity in one God, have mercy on us. Okay, thank you. Please be seated. Is there any absent? Okay, very good. Everyone is present. How are you, class? Okay, I am glad that you are doing okay. How was your weekend? Did you enjoy it? Okay, I am glad that you guys had enjoyed your long weekend. Before we formally start our discussion, I have prepared an activity that will exercise your mind and boost your confidence. Just raise your hand if you want to participate and don't answer me in chorus. Who among you here have made a poem? Yes, Mr. John? Okay, very good. I'm glad that you have experienced to make a poem. And how was your experience in making a poem? Yes, Miss Erica? Okay, it seems like all of you had the same experiences in making a poem, and most of you had enjoyed writing a poem. Let's proceed to the next activity. Are you all familiar with the scrambled words? Okay, very good. This activity is called Arrange Me. You only need to do is to arrange the scrambled letters to form the right word. Just raise your hand if you want to answer. Who wants to answer? Yes, Miss Elise? Okay, very good. The answer is thin. Next number, who wants to answer? Mr. Jacob? Very good. The answer is line. Next number. Jessica? Very good. The answer is stanza. Next number. Raymond? Rhythm. Very good. Next number. Very good. It's meter. Next number. Ella? It's rhyme. Very good. Next number. Jessica? Mood. Very good. Next number. Symbolism. Yes, Erica. Imagery. Very good. Daniel? Very good. The answer is tone. Thank you for your cooperation, class. Those who have participated will be given at least 5 points each.
Good holy class, once again I am teacher Jyster. Today I will discuss the poet and the elements of poetry. But let me read our objectives for today. At the end of the lesson, the student should be able to discuss the elements of poetry, relate content of poem to a particular social issue. The third one is to construct a poem using the elements of poetry. Shall we begin? What is poetry? It is a person who writes a poem. For example, one of the famous poets is William Shakespeare. As we all know that he is a writer of Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet, to name a few. But this original fame came from the poetry, earning him the nickname the Bard. So let us move to the poetry. What is poetry? Poetry is the art of using word in a way that will make an image come alive. One of the examples of poetry is elegy, which is a reflective of poem to honor the dead. So what are the elements of poetry? Actually, there are 10 elements of poetry. The first one is theme, which is the central message or perception that writer wants to convey to our readers. A theme often teaches a moral lesson to a reader. It is an universal idea that can be applied to anyone. The next one is line, which is the subdivision of a poem, specifically a group of words arranged into a row that ends of a reason other than the right hand margin. So the third one is the stanza, which is used to describe the main building block of a poem. It is a unit of poetry composed of lines that relates to a similar. The next one is the rhythm, which is the pattern recurrence within a certain range of regularity of specific language features, usually features of sound. Although difficult to define, rhythm is readily discriminated by the ear and the mind, having as it does a sociological basis. The fifth one is the meter. It is the basic rhythmic structure of the verse or line. In verse, many traditional verse forms prescribe a specific verse meter or a certain set of meters alternating in a particular order. The study and the actual use of meters and form of versification are both known as prosody. The next one is the rhyme, which is the repetition of the syllables. Typically at the end of the line, we organize those end rhymes into a pattern or schemes called rhyme schemes. You've heard them. A rhyme scheme is made of the pattern of end rhymes in a stanza. Next is mood, with which it describes how word choice, subject matter, and the author's tone convey an overall feeling that characterizes the emotional landscape of a poem for readers. Next is symbolism, which is literary device that uses symbol, be they words, people, marks, location, or abstract ideas to represent something beyond the literal meaning. The next one is the imagery, which is one of the elements of a poem that invoke any of the five senses to create a set of mental images, specifically using vivid or figurative language to represent ideas, object, or action. The last one is the tone, which is the poet's attitude towards the poem's speaker, reader, and subject matter, as it interpreted by the reader, often described as a mood that pervades the experience of reading the poem. It is created by the poem's vocabulary, metrical regularity or irregularity, syntax or figurative language, and rhyme. This is for today's lesson. I hope you've learned from our discussion. Is there any question? Okay. So what is the importance of the following elements of poetry? Anyone? Okay, Miss Jasmine. Okay, very good. So the elements of poetry are used by successful poets to convey the certain meanings and themes. While there are many poetic elements and devices, many poets are selective in their usage of elements and devices. They are often choose to the tool that achieves the effect they want to convey. So the next question is, what is the purpose of poetry? So anyone? Okay, Miss Leah. Okay, very good. So the purpose of poetry allows us to express our thoughts, feelings, emotions, and ideas in an artistic way. Since poetry is focused on relaying experience in highly salient way, there is a great potential for it to be utilized as a means to build empathy and bridge gaps of understanding between people who come from differing backgrounds. In this way, poetry can be a vehicle for messages of a social justice.
And now, let's proceed for our activity. You only need to do is to choose the correct letter. Just raise your hand if you know the answer. First question. It is the message, point of view, and idea of the poem. A. Symbolism. B. Imagery. C. Theme. Yes, Miss Ella? Very good. The answer is theme. Next number. It is the repetition of syllables typically at the end of a verse line. A. Line. B. Rhythm. C. Rhyme. Yes, Mr. Jacob? Very good. The answer is rhyme. Next number. It is the feeling created of the writer for the readers. It can be positive or negative. A. Rhyme. B. Tone. C. Mood. Yes, Miss Tony. Very good. The answer is mood. Next number. It is a literary that works as its structural elements in the poetry. A. Line. B. Meter. C. Stanza. Yes, Miss Maureen. Very good. The answer is meter. Next number. A division of poem consisting of two or more lines arranged together as a unit. A. Line. B. Stanza. C. Meter. Yes, Miss Sophia. Very good. The answer is stanza. Very good. It seems you really understand. Okay, for the next activity, it is entitled Fill Me. Just raise your hand if you know the answer. And this question is answerable by true or false. For our first question, rhythm is one device poets use to create a mood. Is it true or false? Yes, Mr. Jacob. Very good. The answer is false. Next number. Well-written poetry does not include figurative language. Yes, Miss Ella. Very good. The answer is false. Next number. Poetry is not intended to be read aloud. Yes, Miss Jessica. Very good. The answer is false. Next number. Poetry is defined by a set number of lines, stanza, and rhythm. Is it true or false? Yes, Miss Maureen. Very good. The answer is false. Imagery is the term given to a comparison beginning with like or us. Yes, Miss Ella. Very good. The answer is false. Next number. Can several verses grouped together form stanza? Yes, Luis. Very good. The answer is true. Next number. It is not necessary to determine the speaker of every poem. Yes, Miss Layla. Very good. The answer is false. Next number. All poems must rhyme. Yes, Diane. Very good. The answer is false. Next number. Meter is always focusing on the stressed syllabic pattern in a verse, but not with the unstressed pattern. Yes, Diane. Very good. The answer is true. While rhyme is the repeating sound at the end of a line in a poem, rhythm is created pattern or beat. Yes, MJ? Very good. The answer is true. Thank you, class. For your assignment, you will be grouped into 5 and you are free to choose your group. Just make sure no one will be left behind and you are asked to make a poem relating to the social issues in the society. Create the video and present it creatively. So before that, let me read our criteria. Relevance to the theme, 50%. Creativity, style and originality, 30%. Coherence of form and structure, harmony of words, presentation, 10%. Clarity of imagery and language, 10%. The total of 100%. Just submit it on Schoology and the deadline will be on June 5, 2022 at 11:59 p.m. Okay? Okay. Late submission will have a deduction. Thank you for cooperation, class, and see you tomorrow. God bless.